idea is that AI is not something that you can simply learn like you read a school book. You need to start getting a little bit passionate about it.
What jobs do you consider like AI proof, and why do you think are they protected?
So,
What do you think how long it takes, for example, to AI replace our job?
because this happened before, history repeats itself many times. It happened with computer, with internet, with the mobile phones, with digital marketing, and now with AI.
And what do you think in this case? What people have to do to secure yourself?
Actually, keep learning. That's the only secret.
Learning how to use AI.
Exactly, how to apply AI to your own job. When you realize that there are such a great computing power able to do better, faster than anyone of you, then you start panicking.
What's the biggest misconception people have about which skills AI can and cannot replace?
Somebody claimed in many laboratories that there is already AI working at that kind of level, but it's been kept secret, has been under several tests. It's capable of having a better reasoning skills than any human being.
Today, I'm talking with Professor Farioli, an Italian AI expert who teaches at EY and PwC, advises billion-dollar companies, and believes understanding AI is like making perfect pizza. He's trained executives at NASA and Google and other companies. But his approach makes AI accessible to everyone. Whether you're worried about your job or want to use AI to improve your daily life, this conversation is essential listening. I want to start with first question. How much should someone invest in learning how to use AI each week to stay ahead and be competitive?
Right. Initially, I would say that half an hour to 1 hour can be enough. Now, I'm spending 1 to 2 hours every single day learning new stuff. But for somebody that already has a job and has something else to do, even half an hour to 1 hour is more than enough.
Okay, and what's usually this process about?
Basically, getting to know what could be done in your own field first.
Okay.
Now, you know the basics, you understand the basics, you play with the basic tools, and then you start practicing it a little bit, and then you move into a little bit more advanced stuff. The idea is that AI is not something that you can simply learn like you read a school book. You need to start getting a little bit passionate about it. Because it's not just about, I understand just the basic of how to use a PC. You need to really be passionate about it. Then when you find out how can it really benefit.
Okay. And which specific retail and service jobs will AI transform or eliminate first in the next 12 months?
Now, that's a great question. I don't want to be bad and having people running away from it. But normally, retail are expected to be less and less and less useful because we have seen a technology that can completely remove even cashiers in the retail. Now, still, even e-commerce were supposed to remove completely the retail business. But in fact, retail are still existing, even though e-commerce are eating a good portion of it. But then I would say that mostly like whatever involve entering data, so data entry job, and in the future, even a more customer sales representative or customer experience experts or employees into the spaces, they're going to be 100% replaced by AI, which is already available right now. So it's just about time that companies are figuring out what to do. That's basically those job titles, they don't have any reason to exist anymore.
You just open raw truth.
Exactly.
So what jobs do you consider like AI proof, and why do you think are they protected?
Now, I believe that jobs that involve some sort of creative strategy are still going to be working, because just the pure creativity, it's quite well done by AI. And jobs that are 100% strategy are also done quite well by AI. But jobs that involve a creative strategy or creative idea to do something in a different way that has not been thought before, that's what could last. And I say, in general, jobs that are higher in the food chain. So even when you are a GP, a general practitioner is a doctor, your job can already be done perfectly by AI.
That
and has been proven.
If job more complicated, it's more hard.
Absolutely. When you are a specialist, then it's going to be more difficult for AI not, it's just going to take a little bit longer. So you have a little bit more time to resist.
Okay. You've worked with major companies like Huawei, Armani, Ferrari. What skills are their executives most concerned about losing to AI?
Now, they try to think that their voice is going to lose authenticity with AI. The brand voice is going to lose because we all try to see that as much as the content created by AI is absolutely stunning and it's much better than the majority of the copywriters, but after some time we all notice that all the content, they look kind of similar.
Yeah.
So that's why they think, but we're not authentic brand. We're not an authentic brand anymore. We look like one of the many kind of a fake brand spoken by AI voice. Yeah. That's what they believe that's going to happen. And then they think that innovation is going to lose a little bit the human touch. Since now it's only about human, now with AI, everyone from the largest organization start feeling that they are not really sure anymore about what's coming.
And what do you think about, for example, in the future when AI will be more advanced?
Actually, all of those tools and this technology are already available for any organization. But some of them, they decided to take them, some of them not, or not yet. So once they're going to be largely used, then we can see a major equalizer of brands. Now, there's not going to be any huge difference between the big brand and the small brand. Actually, we see on a daily basis that even influencers, they create their own brand, and in a matter of less than 1 year, it becomes more valuable than huge historical brands in the same space. So we really see that technology used in the right way is taking over the big company, the biggest organization. So that's what basically everyone is fearing at the highest level of the biggest organization.
That's impressive. What's the biggest misconception people have about which skills AI can and cannot replace?
People believe that AI can do everything, which I believe that they almost can, and also, but not yet. And also people believe that, we're going to be 100% replaced by AI, which again, I believe that what we're doing now is going to be replaced, but it's going to open up to more activities that we're going to be able to do thanks to AI.
But so, what do you think how long it takes, for example, to AI replace our job?
Now, technically, even in 1 year, we're going to see massive extinction of job titles. But mankind, it's very stubborn, very resilient, and they're not going to just give up easily.
Okay.
They're going to keep their job very tight, going, unfortunately, against AI, which basically is going to kick AI, which is the smart kids coming to your office. You're going to kick him out because you are the majority of people, less smart, and kick the smart kid out just not to lose the job. That's the downside of it. But I believe that, this could happen very fast, but the politics inside companies are keeping technology innovation a little bit slow, especially when we talk about the older generation people, so manager with like 50 years old and above, which are more reluctant to rely on new technology innovation because this happened before. The history repeats itself many times. It happened with computer, with internet, with the mobile phones, with digital marketing, and now with AI. So it's just happening exactly the same.
And what do you think in this case, what people have to do to secure yourself?
Actually, keep learning. That's the only secret.
Learning how to use AI?
Exactly. How to apply AI to your own job. Now, I always like to see, as I said, the history repeats itself. Now we are exactly in the same situation when to what happened around the year 2000, where we were in the new economy, in the web bubble. So in the year 2000, everyone was about to say, yes, the web is the future. But if you ask them, and I was there, so what do you mean? Yeah, it's the future. But how are you going to use the web to succeed? I don't know, but it's going to be the future. So many things is going to be online, it's going to be on the internet. And again, people, they don't have the capacity to understand what can happen, what this technology can bring to the table. And now we're exactly in the same situation with AI. AI is the future. It's going to be so much. But again, when you say specifically, give some example.
But we need to learn and figure out how it works.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Okay.
So now we are in the phase where not many people knows that nobody knows. So once they are all become aware that they don't know anything about AI, then is when we're going to go in the tipping point, which we are very close for this to happen. Plus, there is one more game, which is AGI, Artificial General Intelligence. Now we're talking about basically completely
it's totally different
substituting the mankind, and the man brain with 100% AI.
And what company will just work with AGI? Or
Actually, AGI is already available in different companies, but for politic reason and for overall fear.
Like AGI.
Yes, but for overall fear of human being, they are not 100% revealing the existence. When you realize that there are such a great computing power able to do better, faster than any one of you, then you start panicking. And basically, they don't want mankind to panic because this is going to turn back against AI companies. So, in order to ease down the transition, they are slowing down the adoption of AGI. And technically, we're supposed to reach the level of AGI in 2030 or a little bit later, etc., or to reach the singularity point. Back in the days, we used to talk about 2050 or above, but now we're talking about that we are already there. So just for those of you that are not aware about what's the singularity point, is that when the computer is capable of having a better reasoning skills than any human being.
It's a singularity point.
Yes. Actually, now we're talking about two different singularity points. And the second, because the first, it's already beaten up. So the current AI is way smarter than any person. No matter what skill you have, how smart you are, AI is already smarter than you. But the next level of singularity is when AI is smarter than the entire human race.
And how we can rate it and how we can understand it.
Somebody claimed in many laboratories that there is already AI working at that kind of level. But it's been kept secret, has been under several tests, because before releasing a level of intelligence so high, so great, that can lead as well to problems. I'm not talking about the Terminator, the movie, and stuff like this, but serious social problems. So before releasing something like this, there are people working in ethic of AI that they make sure that everyone understands what's going on before releasing it to the market. Just to make sure that you're not gonna release a beast, a monster that's gonna eat all of our job and society, etc., etc. It's gonna turn everyone upside down. But
they just reveal confidential information.
Some of them. But I can tell you that I've been speaking with a lot of huge organizations for very, very, very long time, and what they have in the laboratory is to the level that nobody can even understand. So imaging is like a GPT. It's for kindergarten compared to the level of sophistication of what the biggest organization they have in store.
But I think real AI level using for science or government purposes, or in which cases it's using? Or just in private, like
no, I mean,
testing?
in laboratories have been tested, but this can be used for everything. I mean, for planning activities in a pharmaceutical. Now they are actually at a crazy level of sophistication for artificial intelligence, where pharmaceutical companies are creating molecules. Something that used to take 10 years of research now is done in few hours by an AI entity, not by human. So it's clearly it's speeding up the society quite 10x or more. It's basically a lot of people now are talking about AI, and I notice because I've been doing a lot of training to the largest organization that every month the level of participants they increase a little bit. So I don't need to always to teach the same thing. Every month I notice that people want to know a little bit more. Now everyone understands GPT. Good, the basic level. Now everyone want to understand a little bit what's coming next. Because in my career, I've been always forecasting what's happening in the market 5 to 10 years or even 15 years ahead. Yep. I mean, I started launching digital marketing campaign in 2003. That was 22 years ago, where not one single person knew what I was doing. And I was working for Oracle, the database company. It's a Fortune 500 company. So imagine a multi-billion-dollar company, nobody there had a clue about what I was doing. So that's how normally I move myself ahead of time.
Yeah, that's
Unfortunately, cool. I move myself ahead of time too much. Where now with AI, we are finally in range that companies are ready to understand what's coming and are ready to understand what they should do in order to be ready.
Yeah.
Otherwise, when your competitor using AI better than you is going to take over, you don't stand a chance. Now we're not going to talk anymore about big company versus small company. Now we're talking about a fast company versus a slow company. And a fast company can be a 3-person job, can be a 3-person company. And in 3-person company can eat an entire industry in 1 year.
It means because there will be more efficiency with using AI.
Absolutely.
But when we talk about like using AI, what it will, how it looks like, I mean, like it's not about only using ChatGPT, right?
Absolutely. I'll give you an example. When I was working in Oracle, we were selling database. And we were not selling database to the IT manager. Because technically you think the IT manager is the one using the database. But we were selling to the CFO. So the largest company in the world, we were asking the CFO, how many people you have in your admin department? And he was saying 40,000, 50,000 people. I mean, imagine a company like Citibank or the largest company in the world, they had like 1 million employees. 40, 50,000 at least, if not 100,000 are admin people. We were telling him, look, you don't need 50,000 people. You need only 5,000 and a big Oracle database. And the answer was, where should I sign?
It was a game changer.
Absolutely. So you don't need so many people. You just need a few that they understand or they can learn how to use a database and they can do the job of 100,000.
Yep.
The same happened with AI. You don't need 1,000 employees. You need a bunch of you. Even we look at the largest investment fund in the world, like BlackRock, etc. They have less than 100 employees. And we're talking about the company that are moving the biggest amount of money in the world. So, again, companies that are acting fast, learning fast, and entering fast into this new game, which is AI and AGI, are the ones that are going to lead, no matter how small they are. And as Sam Altman, the founder of OpenAI, said, and I absolutely agree with him, the new billion-dollar company is going to be made by maximum 3 people.
It's really nice. But okay, I understand about companies, but if we talk about like regular person, from what they should start if they want to be like figure out with AI?
Yeah, for me, it's always good to be eager to learn. Because even when Google started, it was amazing, but so many people, they were not using it. They were thinking that this was not going to be good for them. They're not going to find any solution. They were not even understanding that Google was capable of solving their problem. Yeah. Simply, they were not asking. Only after some time, they start asking basic things, like 1 or 2 keywords. They ask one thing, very simple things, Google get an answer, and it was enough for them. It took so much for people to realize that they could have asked much more complicated question to Google. And Google could have answered. Even if you are fixing your car, you have an issue with your car, you can ask Google, you can Google it. And you get, most of the time, quite good solution. So, okay. But people were unaware that you can even ask and search these kind of things. The same happened with GPT. Now we see people asking the basic stuff. Some people more in managerial position or technical position, etc., with technical background, they are not afraid to ask more complex questions. So that's basically what I really suggest everyone to do. Start interacting more with GPT and figuring out that this can help you a lot more than what you can think. Mm-hmm. Now, if you ask the wrong question, you're going to get the wrong answer. Don't expect that GPT knows you and answer the perfect question if you don't ask it in the right way.
But how to write effective AI prompt, I think it's a key issue to people start using ChatGPT or other general AI agents.
Absolutely. Now, you also mentioned a nice word, prompt, that maybe some of the audience doesn't know what prompt means. Now, when you ask Google, normally you search.
Yep.
Now, when you ask GPT, you prompt. Okay. So basically, you input some parameters even though we write in normal language, in human language, but it's called prompt. And now what's required is to ask better prompt, is to input better prompt into GPT.
And what's the criteria to ask better prompt?
Right, now I'll give you my own series, my own secret sauce, and actually it's based on few points. The first is the action. So imagine that GPT is the smartest kids in the universe.
Okay.
That he doesn't know you and you doesn't know him.
Okay.
So you need to be a little bit specific when you ask something. So first is the action. So what you want GPT to do. You want to write this, read this, understand this, analyze that, whatever. Then you also mention the topic. So what's maybe water, maybe computer, maybe astrophysics, maybe doctor, maybe broken bones, whatever, up to you. Then the audience. So you need to specify who the answer is going to be for. For example, I've done a few tests and it works amazingly. So, because one of the topics that I teach to large entities is also blockchain, and I say, nobody is able to explain in an easy way blockchain. And I have two kids. One is 9 years old, one is 10 years old. Okay. So I asked GPT, explain blockchain to a 9 years old kid. And so that's why I say the audience. So who's going to be the audience that need to understand the answer of GPT? So you have the smartest kids in the block. But if the smartest kids answer you at PhD level, maybe your audience is not going to understand what he's saying. So you need to explain who is going to be the audience. 9 years old kids, perfect. And he gave you the explanation for 9 years old kids.
Or PhD or professor.
Exactly. Or the CFO. Because maybe you want to say something to the CFO and you write for the CFO.
Okay.
So the tone of voice is going to be written in a way that the CFO is going to understand perfectly what you're about to say. Then there is the tone of voice. It can be formal, informal, friendly, in rhyme. You can say, use the tone of Donald Trump. And he will say, we will make this glass of water great again, or something like this. Literally, he will use exactly the same style and language that Donald Trump would use. And you can use any famous person in the history of mankind, existing person, not existing person. It's going to work perfectly. Then the length. You want a short answer, normal answer, or long answer? Or you want to have an answer in bullet points? Maybe sometimes you don't need the full description, just short bullet points. Pam, 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 pam. And you get it. Or the format. You want to have it formatted as an ebook. So it's going to come out as an ebook style. Or a poem, or a poetry, or a video sales letter, or advertising a Google Ads text, or something like this. So based on that, the system is going to come out with exactly that specific format that we need. And then we can add additional parameter. I mean, we can say add a research about 2024 compared to 2023, about this, about that, about that. And we add as many as we like. When we prompt perfectly, then we send, bam. And in 10 seconds, we get the perfect answer.
Is it better to ask like simple questions and follow step by step, or it also works if I will ask, for example, complicated questions with a lot of steps?
Now, that's a good point. Initially, I was asking simple question and then adjusting it. And it took me some time. Now that I become, after some time, you become experts, and then you write. It takes you longer to write the perfect prompt, but then, boom, you get one reply and it's perfect. The first step. You don't need to keep adjusting it. I know that it's easy to say, write me this. And then you say, no, I mean this, but in this way. Add also this, add also that. But when you start asking so many adjustments, after some time, he loses the track of what was at the beginning.
Yes.
So that's why if you ask the perfect prompt at the beginning, then you get better answer immediately. So you don't need to come back.
Okay, I got it. That's a cool recommendation. What about, I've seen a lot of AI tools which are more advanced, like which can build, for example, websites or doing deep research. What do you know about that?
Right. First of all, keep in mind that 99% of tools out there, they have one engine underneath, which is GPT.
OpenAI model.
Exactly. I've been using it back in the days now I don't even remember the name. It was a tool that I used it for 2 years, actually, to help me writing better copy for ads, etc. And then, I got enough, and I got GPT that basically is the same. Simply doesn't have the beautiful, stunning interface, but you need to write things. It's like you use your own software, which is made underneath with Microsoft Excel, or you use directly Excel. It's a little bit more rudimental, but it gives you more power. That's the same with GPT. Now, apart of GPT, there are other tools like Perplexity, which also it's great for real-time AI search. Then Runway ML, great to create animated video out of AI. Then I use regularly Note GPT, where actually it's a software or it's a tool, it's a plugin, etc., where actually with Note GPT, I'm sure that you and everyone are looking to very long podcasts, very long recordings, where you see a lot of content, 1.5 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour of content, but the majority of it, you don't need it. You only need the few juice, the few points. How do? You need to skip, it's not easy. So you take the link of the video, you throw it in Note GPT, and it gives you the summary of the entire video with the learning points, with all of the main activity. And even you can get the mind map of the entire video. So by doing that, a 1.5 hour video, you can get it and you can read it in 3 minutes.
Yeah, I've started to use this Notebook LM by Google. It's really...
Notebook LM, that's another nice thing. That's good too. That's another thing that help you creating a podcast-like content after you throw some input. You throw a book, for example, or you throw information, you throw documents, and automatically create a kind of podcast, even with a voice of a host and a co-host. And they chit-chat, they are very friendly, they are very cool. Basically, you can learn stuff in a very cool way.
Okay.
Instead of reading a long book or long document, you throw it in and you get your audio podcast done. Then another one is gamma.app, which basically is great to create simple, kind of advanced, beautiful websites, and also to create presentations or flyer or brochures.
But do you find Gamma is good for creating visual media files? Because yes. I used to use this app, but sometimes I found it's not works well.
To do only creatives, Canva is the number one. Gamma is good mostly for presentation or for something that can be when you need to explain something, which could be a website, could be a presentation, could be a flyer, could be a brochure. Now, it's not the best of the best of the best of the best. Every day there are more tools. But for me, it's kind of consistent. And they keep adding good functionality. So when I look for tools, for me, what I also recommend to think that the tool, it's a consumer tool. So like you buy the consumer electronic, you use, and after 6 months to 1 year, you throw it away and you buy the new version. Tools like SaaS, software as a service, or AI tools, for me are exactly consumer tools. I use it today. 6 months from now, there's going to be a better tool.
Yeah.
And I throw it away, the old one, and I get a new one. Some tool is lasting a little bit longer. They got funded, they got more funds, they keep developing, they keep adding more functionality, and they go up.
You use tool when it get more value, and after you switch, change.
Absolutely.
Okay,
and then
nice.
If the tool is not the best tool ever, if it's not evolving, after some time, you leave them behind and you use the new tool.
Okay. So my next question, how do you recommend people practice, incorporate AI skills without risking unintended and undesired outcomes at their jobs?
Right. First, don't be afraid to try. Because as one of my mentors used to say, in digital, to fail is very cheap.
So, do you think so?
In traditional business, traditional world, you need to do something. It's going to take you 6 months to do something. And if you make a mistake, you lost 6 months, big money, big investment, big involvement, etc., etc. With AI, you try to do something and it takes you half an hour, few minutes, even 1 hour. Then you see the results, and then basically you play with it. But at the same time, always double check with your own brain before publishing it. Whatever you're using AI for. Because at the end of the day, I know that people, they take it for granted. Like people take it for granted what Google answer you.
Yeah.
But again, we know that there are deep fake, there are fake, there are information taken maybe from website not really legit. Now, it's impossible for AI or for Google to be 100% sure that the information is absolutely legit, etc., etc., etc. So use your brain still, because they are paying you, not GPT. So that's also another big issue.
That in human style.
That's as well, but also make sure that the information that you're getting they make sense for you. So if I'm not a lawyer and I ask anything about legal advice, now to me it looks amazing, but maybe it's not right. And actually I had a discussion with many lawyers, friends of mine, they told me that they ask complex legal subjects and AI make mistakes. So if you take it for granted, you lose a case, then you have a problem. Or you write a contract which is written in a wrong way, that's a big problem. But if you're a lawyer and you use AI, then it's when you succeed, because it saves you a lot of time. Then you do the final review, the final adjustment, and that's it. As an advertiser, I've been always writing the copy, the content, the text of the ads myself. Now with AI, I can write faster. Sometimes I can even write a little bit better.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, I'm still myself that do the final touch. It's like you have a machine that produces food constantly, perfectly. But still you need the chef to put the final touch before leaving the kitchen. So the food is going to go to the table in a perfect state.
What about students or parents who have small and young kids? How they should be prepared in the AI era when AI will replace a lot of tasks and simple jobs?
Right. Now, I don't want to tell them how they should teach or or treat with their kids, but I'll tell you my own personal opinion, because I'm glad that my parents always allow me to spend a lot of time with technology, with computers, including video games, which was for somebody bad, for somebody good, whatever. But they never stop the technology and the innovation for be part of my life. And that's why I become what I am right now. So that's why I gave my kids the possibility to use ChatGPT. Now, I'm not telling them that they can use to do homework. Sooner or later, they're going to figure out anyway. But basically, to start playing out with something, and I told them, look, when you ask something to Google and you don't get the nice reply that you expect, go to ChatGPT. And after a few weeks, I ask one of them, so have you played with GPT? Say, yes, Dad. May I ask you, what have you asked that Google cannot answer? Yeah, I was asked about what's the strongest Pokemon? Is it Pikachu or the other? And he said, what GPT answer? He gave me a very, very comprehensive reply, analyzing the energy, the power, the strength, the defense, the attack, and everything. I said, wow, that's impressive. So now GPT is is number one PhD in Pokemon knowledge. So you see, not even Google can give you that kind of answer. Now, that's something, basically, they're going to help them getting the answer that they cannot get otherwise.
But by the way, are there a big difference between, for example, ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude, or the other LLMs model?
That's another good question. I mean, because I'm using GPT for quite some time, GPT understands a lot about me.
Yeah, they remember your information. And
so I don't need to start from scratch every time. I've been trying and playing with different LLM. So many times I get in the news, in some video, in some influencer claiming that Gemini, the new version, is so amazing, so unbelievable, it beat all of the records. I ask the same complicated question that I just asked to GPT. I asked to Gemini, and I get a very poor answer, an answer that I cannot use.
Because Gemini don't have your information.
Or is not enough used so much as GPT. GPT has a lot more human interaction on his shoulder until now compared to Gemini.
I got it.
Then I try others, like DeepSeek. Everyone say, oh, DeepSeek is the cheapest, best, great, it beat out everyone. I try, again, very poor answer. Now, one way is to say, I study medicine, and I got the test, and I'm the best score test in medicine ever. Good. That's what sometimes DeepSeek or new LLM are getting it, the best score. Good. But would you ever trust the doctor that has the best score in the university and never operate a patient?
For sure, no.
Probably not. So that's why start playing around with different LLM and figure out if it's good for you or not. Because in my case, as a marketer, I need to produce a lot of content. And I'm involved in a lot of creative thought and reasoning. So for me, so far, GPT is perfect. But I'll tell you something, that people are not talking enough or at all about Qwen 2.5 Pro.
It's also
Qwen
Chinese.
is also
by
Chinese
Alibaba.
and is by Alibaba. Now, DeepSeek has been created with very low budget. Qwen is created by the team that is running Alibaba. So they have unlimited budget, unlimited resources, unlimited servers.
Right.
Now, I got shocked when I asked the same extremely complicated question to GPT and to Qwen, and I got very similar answer. So it's like somebody sitting next to you and is copying it. So I say that's unbelievably, unrealistically close answer. And I'm talking about very complex reasoning, not what's the most strongest Pokemon. I mean, I'm talking about hardcore stuff. So I realized that.
What do you think about more advanced AI agents like Manus AI? Did you try it?
Yes. I got it long time back because I was qualified to be amongst the first tester of Manus. It looks very nice, but again, now I'm testing it. I tested a few times Manus versus GPT research.
Okay.
Because you can use GPT version 4.5 and you do the research mode. Then I got, again, very similar results. Now, the entire idea is brilliant, that instead of having something that you ask and you get a reply, you have an agent where actually the agent is keep researching until he achieved the goal.
Okay.
That's a new way of thinking. So instead of saying, do this, and he has done it, I say, achieve this goal. And the system is keep working, no limits until you achieve the goal. That's a new way of pursuing goals. Clearly, require more resource, so clearly it's going to be more expensive, and then it's not going to be for everyone.
So if I'm not wrong, I've seen you wrote in one day that like AI implementation is more about 80% of psychology and 20% of technology.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not about technology anymore.
Why do you think so?
Even strategy is mostly, even the digital transformation, it's mostly about strategy, not about technology. Because the technology can be always changed. You can always swap technology. But the right strategy, the right roadmap, the right activity, the right psychology behind is going to help achieving your goal much faster.
And how to develop right strategy? Or it depends for your personal purposes?
That depends only on your experience.
For example,
when you talk about, and I'm teaching for some of the big four organization, they have the talents that have been researching and doing this for a very long time. So you get a technical person that they know the technology, but has seen the business use of it. And that's how you can basically succeed nowadays. Otherwise, you're like a kid using a supercomputer. You're not going to be able to know even what can do for you.
I'm also curious about, you've trained over 16,000 executives. What's the biggest mistake you see intelligent people making with AI when they start to implement and try it?
Right. First, they don't know that they don't know. So when I ask, so what do you think that AI can do for you? They say, I can do everything. Give me an example. I don't know. I like everything. An example. I don't know. So it's too big to understand what can be done. So you need to be aware first of what are the capability or what you can do with it. Even your brain is not capable of comprehend the size of the innovation that is coming to you. And then it's like having a genius. It's like having the genie outside of the bottle and you don't know what to ask. Because you think, I don't know what to ask because it's too big. I don't even know if this can be done. Everything can be done by the genie. Everything can be done by the AI. And by the AGI, it's not even under anyone's comprehension what can be really achieved. And this is the biggest issue with even smart people, because they are the smartest. They've done the best MBA. They've been running the biggest company. They've been achieving the biggest results. But now this technology is so revolutionary that they cannot even comprehend how they can help them.
I think they have to be flexible to start to learn and how to use it.
You need to be a little bit crazy. You need to be way creative to start asking something that you don't even know. Don't be the logic person asking logic question. Just be creative for some time and ask the crazy things that nobody can understand. And that's how you get answers that open up your own mind. And there are some specific prompts that I publish, even after some time when you interact with GPT, you can ask GPT to tell you something that not even you know about yourself. You will be shocked by what comes out. It's it's worth like going, I don't know, like 1 year to the best psychologist in the world, and after 1 year you ask him, so tell me something that I don't know about myself.
After
GPT
1 year.
already knows, even in few months, maybe even in few weeks, if you use it hardly enough. So basically, letting you understand more about yourself.
It's very interesting.
And the same thing, help you understand more about your own role and job. Actually, how can somebody that is not doing my job know more about me and about my job and about my company than myself? So once people realize that this is really a possibility, they start thinking this can be absolutely amazing or absolutely terrifying.
But in another way, I also worried about, for example, if, for example, ChatGPT or other companies who operate these LLMs, they have a lot of data. And in this case, they will like promote advertisement and sell products in better way.
Hopefully not. But again, why Google is so adopted, is so used, and is still free? Somebody should pay the bills, right? Who pay the bills? Advertisers. Now, at the moment, GPT, okay, there is the free version, but most of people now, they upgrade to the premium version, which is reasonably priced. The basic premium is $20 a month. Now, $20, in my opinion, are the best $20 a month ever spent in your entire life. There's never been so much value given with $20 a month. Like, never in my life I've seen so much value.
But I heard like OpenAI is not positive in terms of revenue.
Absolutely. There are investors behind.
$20 it's not so good for them.
Absolutely. Now there are obviously advanced version at $200, and now they are planning to do even full operating agents priced at even $20,000. So again, once you compare that you are going to have a team of 20 people replaced but by a $20,000 things, it makes sense to pay $20,000. We were selling Oracle to the largest clients in every country for $100 to $200 million per year. How can you spend $200 million for a database? You don't pay for a database. You pay for the value that the database is giving you, and for the amount of work that the database is taking away from your people, from your human. So you can replace them. I mean, Oracle, they never sold the data.
Database.
You pay for it, and the data is 100% yours. It's never going to be shared by anyone to anyone, 100% yours. So they still sell you the technology, but they sell to a minority of people, to the minority of company. Now, the largest company in the world runs Oracle, but they are a small amount of people compared to the population of the planet.
I got it.
Now, GPT target the entire population of the planet. Everyone that make an income of at least even $1,000 should be spend $20 a month for GPT Pro, better than have the latest iPhone something version.
Okay.
Because the iPhone, it doesn't give you any benefit in your workplace. But GPT or another LLM does.
What do you think will be the next way to interact, for example, with technology? I heard about, for example, now we're just using typing, texting, but in the future we will use voice or...
Voice is still there. Almost perfect. Not yet, but almost there.
Glasses without smartphones.
Glasses, I've seen a lot. I'm still not so positive about it. I've been playing with glasses a lot for many years. Even Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook announced that the metaverse project finally is going to be retired. And that was like a $20 billion loss.
Okay.
So I don't see the glasses coming anytime soon, but voice clearly. Now the game of all of the biggest AI company is not in who has the best LLM, because they're all very, very, very similar. Now, the big competition amongst AI company is who have the best real-time voice AI.
Why?
Because it's not anymore like I write and I wait the answer. Then maybe I write and maybe I get the answer. Now it's about I'm speaking with you, and instead of speaking with you, I speak with AI like it's my best friend. And I get immediate, ultra-fast reply in less than, technically in a tenth of a second delay. After I ask you something, in less than a tenth of a second, I should start getting the reply. And if I'm getting the reply, I interrupt you on the way, and then again, I get basically like a human type interaction. This is what every major AI company are now competing with each other to who is going to be the first achieving that. Now, some of them are extremely close.
It looks like a big competition. Close. Yeah.
Some of them, they claim that they reach even half, 0.05 second delay.
Now we have like big players like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and Grok, and Chinese LLMs.
There are also smaller companies that are not that are a little bit under the radar, and but they are coming. But again, for me, I'm not a big fan of the smallest companies, because once they don't get enough funds, you start playing with something that then they lose the funds and they disappear.
Yeah.
So I always like somebody that has been playing around a little bit. They got enough financial capability and they're keep innovating constantly. That's normally is how I choose technology for all of my life. Not only in terms of AI. In any other technology company, I use that way to choose my favorite tools.
I got it. So if our listeners started today, what specific steps should they take in the next 6 months to be AI proficient?
Right. I would say in the first months, learn properly ChatGPT. Spend time every single day with it. Even ask GPT about what can GPT do for you, based on your job, your company, your career, your idea, your goals, etc., and start going with it. Then, second month, you start applying AI to your daily job, like emails or reports, content, maybe research, etc. The month 3, you explore a little bit more advanced tools, even Canva AI. There is another tool that I love. It's called Napkin, which for now is still free, but basically help you designing kind of infographic. Extremely easy, extremely fast. Then, as I say, Note GPT, play also with the Notion AI, which is another, Notion is a big tool and now has a good
for
AI capability.
Task management.
And then also Google Notebook to play around with complex content. You throw it in and you get the podcast style description of the content. Then later, you start becoming more advanced, start creating mini AI projects on your own. Now, you do it in parallel of your work.
For example, just build a simple website, build mini apps.
Something that you would have done for your company, but you're not confident yet, so you would do it like on your spare time, as a kind of test project, sample project, and you play with it without telling your boss or your company what you're doing. Just play with it. And once you see that makes sense, then eventually you're gonna tell about that in your company. Because AI is just about time, it's gonna replace us. So if you are an employee, it's better that you are the one introducing AI to your company, because once this is gonna come, then you're gonna be in charge of the AI division. If not, you're going to be left behind and somebody else is going to do it for you. Then I say that the next, after that, start learning the basic of ethical AI. Because we see that AI is changing a lot of things, but it's about now thinking and reasoning what could be done ethically and what's not. And there are a big discussion at government level and at huge organization level about having an ethic body that oversee how AI is being used in the organization. Exactly like polluting. A few years ago, nobody cared about polluting. We were polluting and that's it. Now we think ethically. How to recycle, etc. The same now is happening with AI ethic. And then the last step is, after you are extremely confident about AI, start spreading the words. Start teach others. Because again, once your team is going to be AI enabled, then it's going to be way more successful.
Right.
So in every CV of every one of us, I'm sure that there is a point where we wrote, I'm good with Microsoft Office, Excel, Word, and PowerPoint. I'm sure. Now, right now, nobody is going to ask you, do you know about Excel and PowerPoint? Yes, of course. It's given for granted. So now the next skill is going to be AI. How much do you know AI? How proficient are you with AI? How digitally mature are you?
Okay.
So that's basically what's coming, and I believe that once you can demonstrate that yourself and your department have the right skills to understand and play with AI properly, then you're going to grow.
How will we know if we're successfully adapting to AI or falling behind?
That's a good question, because every industry has different innovation stage.
Okay.
So when I speak with banks, I see the banks are a lot behind. But then I speak with the government and they are even more behind. So there is always somebody ahead of you, somebody behind you. Then I speak and I teach to telecom operators. They're the one ahead of the curve. Because they understand that digital has a value, is worth money, increase their company value and productivity, and so on and on and on. So you need to figure out first within your industry how you rate. But even if you say, oh, we are the best of the best in oil and gas. Oil and gas, some department, they do great. Other department, they are absolutely behind. So think how you rate within your industry and how you rate amongst other industries. As I say, compare yourself with telco, and whatever sector you are into, you are always going to be looking to go for more.
Okay, thank you. This conversation really have a lot of insights.
I'm glad that you enjoyed.
Thanks for recommendation.
You're welcome.
Okay.